complaining that how y'all have to go back working a 9 to 5 because you started hauling and spending money like your ass is Dwayne Wade or some shit.
How the hell do you go from making $350,000 a month as an influencer to now where you're on this app crying that you cannot afford your $25,000 a month mortgage?
Complaining that how y'all have to go back working a 9 to 5 because you started hauling and spending money like your ass is Dwayne Wade or some shit. Y'all start getting paid from these social medias, and then it's like everything just goes out the window and you just start feeling like you above everything as far as finances. Why, if you starting to get a $4,000 check, you think, oh, let me go get me a high rise in an expensive ass city that you probably paying close to that $4,000 check that you're getting or more, trying to keep up with the Joneses? I really don't understand that. Help me understand that. This girl just got on here talking about how she was making $60,000 from TikTok. I think that's a lot of damn money for each month. How do you blow that much money? And now you're talking about now you got to go back working a 9 to 5. Are y'all just dumb?
Nah, people not just dumb. It's when you start making that much money, you start trying to do all the things you thought were cool when you didn't have money. I was somebody that fumbled my first batch of a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like all of my expenses went up. Granted, I was pretty smart as far as like I didn't buy new cars and go crazy. Like I told you on my videos, I did Toro, so my cars were paying for themselves. But I was able to get approved for multiple cars because I had a really good income, you know. But at the same time, my spending habits, when me and my friends go out, I buy everybody drinks. If I want to buy some, I'm buying it. You know, it wasn't no thinking about it. My spending habits changed. But did they have to? And this is where people mess up. You get a lot more money, so your spending habits change. What if you make a lot of money, but you still spend as if you don't have the money? Not to say you shouldn't improve your life, but the faster you spend the money, the faster you're going back to who you was before.
Are y'all dumb? How hard is it to stay down until you can stack up some extra money? Like, and nobody's saying not to go, you know, get you a new car, say if you don't got no car. Or go get you a used car because your car that you got is not properly working. Nobody's saying not to do those things or to go and put yourself in a better living situation. But it's like y'all get this extra little bit of money and y'all think y'all just overly rich now. Like, and then when shit starts slowing down.
I'm not going to lie though. Like, you can't really give somebody advice on how to handle it if you've never been there. Like, no offense. Because I remember at that time, I was asking people, you know, financial advice or just how to go about things. And nobody really understood what I was dealing with. Like, even when I started making crazy bread on TikTok, nobody really had advice for me, but I learned from the first scenario. And this is why financial literacy is so important. And what I tell you guys, if you got a job and you catch yourself making money on social media and you don't want to work your job no more, you have to save that money. Do not be out here spending that money as if the money gonna keep on coming. If you're not somebody that is financially savvy and it's guaranteed to keep on flowing, save that money and let it at least buy you time to build up a business or to build up some type of consistency on social media. Let it be your emergency fund when the algorithm does not like you anymore. Because that's one thing about social media platforms. That algorithm could change overnight. You know what I mean? So it is very important for while it's working, you are stashing it. Put it in a high yield savings account. You got $60,000, put it in a high yield savings account. Let it just compound the interest. You could go to SoFi, you could go to American Express, just put it in an account. Do not start spending it as if, hey, this is my new income. If you haven't experienced it for more than a year. If you got $60,000 this month or for 3 months straight, that does not mean that's your new income. No, give yourself a whole year of making a consistent number, because what you'll learn is, okay, this month I made 60. The next month I make 40. The next month I make 30. The next month I'm making 50. Okay, so what's the number? The number is 30. You want to go off of the lowest number to understand your finances if everything go bad. You know what I mean? And yet and still save more than you're spending. If somebody is making 60 and they're putting away 55 and spending 5 or splurging 5, that's some good numbers. You know what I mean? Or they're spending 40, you know, they're saving and investing 40 and they enjoy the 20 and you're consistently making 60. I ain't that mad at you. But you have to be tucking more than you're spending. And too many people, they make more, so they change their lifestyle on something that's brand new.
Y'all looking like, who the fuck done did it? You did it. You did it. I say all this to say, y'all get on here and be fumbling hella bags. Hella bags. And it be pissing me off because certain opportunities was given to the right people. Motherfuckers ain't fumbling that. They not.
That ain't true.
But y'all...
It sounds good. Like, that sounds really good. And I hope you don't. But that's to say that the wrong people got the money. A lot of people weren't actually trained on financial literacy. They just stumbled upon a lot of money because they're good at what they do. They're not the wrong person to have the money. They just don't know how to manage their finances. Hire an accountant. Call an accountant and pay them. That'll save you on taxes, everything. All right?
Especially in this economy, I don't know what the hell y'all be thinking. Y'all get on here complaining.
How the hell do you go from making $350,000 a month as an influencer to now where you're on this app crying that you cannot afford your $25,000 a month mortgage? Like, sell your house. Crazy. That's the first thing most people are thinking when they hear that you're struggling to pay a $25,000 per month mortgage.
I'm saying that's crazy, but for somebody that's making $350,000 a month, they can do that. But you got to be putting away at least a year's worth of mortgage. You got to put away money. Yo, real quick, I've been putting people onto this new website, and my DMs have been flooded with people that are making money from this website. I love being able to see people make easy money. But if you haven't tried it out yet, here's how it go. All you got to do is click the link in the description below or the link in the comment section below. Sign up through my link. You start out with a free $5, and all you're doing is playing games. You're playing games or you're reviewing a show. When you play the games, it tells you how much money you can make. And as you beat the levels, you'll make more money. And you can actually cash it out to yourself. I've been telling y'all about this for a while now. And I know a lot of people have been asking me, yo, is it legit? Is it legit? It's definitely legit. People are really making money. So if you kind of been on the fence about it, this is your sign right here just to try it out. So hit my link, sign up. And I want y'all to DM me that, yo, I just cashed out and I just made some money. DM me on Instagram so I know you winning, and I'll put you in one of my videos as well. So just in case the 350 slow down, you're not even making 25, you know you're good for a year to at least sell your crib or to get better at the thing you're doing. But people do not have emergency funds enough. We just splurge on this new income that we're making.
And also, you're telling me while you were making $350,000 a month, you didn't think that it would have been a good idea to save any of your money? I have no ounce of sympathy for you whatsoever. Because again, there's no way you were making $350,000 and you didn't save, nor did you invest any of that money for a rainy day. Yeah, that was stupid. Being a full-time influencer is not a stable job. You can be the it person right now, and 6 months from now, no one cares about you or your content. $350K a month, and you're now broke? Yeah, nah, that's on you. You stupid.
As he said, you stupid. See, and this is another thing why I don't like when I see financial literacy videos and people be like, don't save. If you save, your money's not working. Listen, you shouldn't always put I'm not a financial advisor, but I don't believe that you should have all the money that you have left over in something like stocks. I don't think you should have all your savings in stocks. You know what I mean? I think you should put your money in places that it will definitely go up, like a high yield savings account. There's only one way it'll go, and that's up. It's not no go down, go up. Because here's the thing about stocks that people don't really talk about, right? And I have money in stocks. I have money in crypto. I have money in all that. You want to talk to me about that? Join my mentorship down below, and I'll tell you the things that I've invested in. But if I put all my savings in stocks and I just so happen to need it, right? But the stock is down, I don't have my money and I lost. If I got a pull, you know what I mean? Or if I put my money, and this is a lot of people mess up like this too. You start making $350,000 out of nowhere. You like, hell, you just got $10,000 out of nowhere. Time to start a business. Who told you was a business person? And I have made this mistake a lot of times. Now, I mean, you get some money and now you think, all right, I need to start a company, I need to start a brand because I have this. Listen, sometimes your capital can outpace your knowledge. I'm gonna say it again. Sometimes your capital can outpace your knowledge. So what that means is it's not time to just throw your money at something. Because as fast as you threw your money is as fast as it'll go down if you threw it at the wrong opportunity. One thing I learned once I started making money is that there's a lot of sharks in the water trying to get your money once people know you got money. So you have to become financially literate before you start spending your money. The best way to do that is to save it and act like you ain't got it. Put it in a high yield savings account so you at least know it's moving with inflation. Now, I mean, 4% a month, 3.5% a month, it keeps going up. But at the same time, you're not just throwing it somewhere. Because the faster you spend it, the faster you'll go back to zero. A millionaire is only a millionaire until he buys a pack of chips. Now he's a 9,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000. So just keep that into consideration. Even with real estate, like you have to understand what you're buying. Like my first real estate deal, I wasn't all the way in the know on what I bought, but I'm glad I put in real estate because it really helped me with when it came time for tax season. But at the same time, like that could have easily went wrong because there was a water issue. But I didn't have enough knowledge, but I knew real estate was the answer. You know, so I learned a lot off of my mistakes.
You could have took 2 months' salary and just bought a house cash, and you would not be in that situation right now where you're worried about paying a mortgage for.
That is one thing I love about real estate so much, though. When you buy something in real estate, let's just say it's $700,000 and you put down $200,000. When you sell the building, if you sell it at the right time, it most likely went up in value. So now you can sell it for $800,000. So you make profit and you get your $200,000 back. That's what I love about real estate the most. It's like the best place to save your money, you know, and it goes up, and it goes up pretty fast, especially in today's time. But again, you have to understand how real estate works, because the smallest mistake, damn, there might be mold. Shit could cost you mad money. A water problem, $50,000 could cost you mad money. This is the type of stuff I was facing. It could cost you mad money. So gain knowledge before you throw in the money, because sometimes your money can outpace your knowledge.
$25,000 a month because the money's drying up. How the
but just what I've seen. When I moved,
hold on.
Did y'all see that video of that girl asking how all the OG influencers were making $30,000 to $50,000 a month and now they're broke and e-bagging on TikTok? Like, what happened to all that money? So as somebody who accumulated over 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube back in 2015, and I was literally living in LA, so I witnessed a lot of this, I'm going to give you guys the breakdown on what happened with that money. I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but just what I've seen. When I moved out there, I thought I was pushing it with my $2,000 one-bedroom apartment, but I had people living in the same building, just at the top floor. I was on the third floor, but they were at the top floor paying $20,000 a month. And then I had some friends that lived in mansions just for the sole purpose of wanting to be able to throw parties and have people come over and make content in there. Literally paying people's yearly salaries, like $30,000, $40,000 a month just to rent this huge house. So for those of you that were also wondering, like, Like, why do a lot of these influencers have big houses, but they're fucking empty? Not even joking, to get some good quality furniture in there, it's going to cost you like $500,000. And don't even get me.
And then another thing is, if you are going to get something, you need to have backup plans for that thing if the main thing that's paying it fails. For instance, right? Let's just say, right now I have a Cybertruck. A lot of y'all don't know that. Now, I mean, some people going to judge me. I love my Cybertruck. I know it look like a refrigerator, but it's my refrigerator. It drives itself. Man, I like it. But nah, with my car, if, let's just say I can't pay it, right? Let's just say social media acting funny, I just can't do it. I have a property that could pay for my car. Let's just say those tenants move out and, whatever. My car, I purposely got that car because my car can pay for itself. I could rent it out on Turo. That car, I made sure, because originally I was just going to get a Z72, I believe. And shout out to the Chevrolets. Now, I mean, it's still a fire car, don't get me wrong, but I wanted a car with, just in case, I could put this on the road and I could rent it out. Even with it having a pickup on the back, I knew that, okay, just in case, granted, I can't hold nothing heavy. I know the Cybertruck ain't that strong, but I can help some people move some stuff and make some money to pay it off. Like, I had all these things in mind before making the decision. Because when you just have one place that this can possibly get paid off from, when that thing falls, your whole empire falls. People are taking $20,000 risk with only one way to pay for it. And that's social media. And it's most likely one account. TikTok. YouTube. Just YouTube. You got to have multiple backups, that you have. Or you got a savings that could possibly just pay it off if all things, go to shits. But at the same time, your savings, you don't want to milk your whole savings on just a car. These are all things you want to consider when you're making a budget to make a big purchase, when you're risking something. You should always be spending a very small fraction of what you actually have in your account.
Started on their Uber ego. It's like people reach a certain amount of followers and all of a sudden they can't use Uber X. Ew, we can't pull up to this party in a Prius. Order an Uber Black. Why would we spend $250 to pull up to a party when we could spend $19.99? Half the cars that you see these people whipping around are rentals and they're spending like $300, $500 a day just to...
Crazy thing about it is real rich people, like people with wealth, they are driving cars that you wouldn't even realize they rich. Like, y'all mean? Like, you wouldn't even realize that they're rich. Like, I remember at one point, I was driving my Honda Accord this is 2010. I was just driving around and the paint was kind of chippy, all that. Like, but I knew my pockets was fat. You know what I mean? I've invested my money, you know what I mean? So don't come rob me. But like, so I'm going places and my confidence changed because it's like, I ain't got shit to prove to y'all. Like mostly the people that I'm trying to prove myself to ain't even got what I have in my account. So what do I care of what you think about my car? Now, my Cybertruck, I need a bigger car because it need to fit, my whole family. Plus it got Netflix in the front and the back, and it could drive itself for when we take road trips. I love that. And I could charge the car at home. So it was worth it for me. But yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. So we're going to continue the video.
Whip it around and try to act like there's somebody they're not. Babe, just because you hit 200K doesn't mean you need to go and get a C300 from Mercedes. Like, it's okay. You can drive your paid off Toyota. Maybe 1 out of 10 of my friends actually cooked their meals at home. Everybody was constantly going out to eat or hiring private chefs. When you start making all this money, a lot of people tend to forget that it might stop one day. So they're still going on these expensive vacations, buying all this designer, even if it's starting to dwindle. Because they literally got used to that lifestyle. Girl, when I tell you, the second I had enough money to buy a property, I bought one. I could only tell so many story times and do so many get ready with me's before people fucking lose interest, okay? I had to be realistic about it. But I could see how most 21-year-olds are not thinking about that. More or less, a lot of these people ran through their money trying to look cool. That's it. And now they're begging.
And I'm not super mad at that. I think some people need to go through the experience of losing it. I hate that you had to go through it, but it might teach you something for the time that you're actually supposed to have it. Because like I said, my first come up was drop shipping. I went crazy with it. It was very unexpected. Yeah, I mean, but I went crazy. If you want to learn about it, how I did it, whatever, hit me up in my mentorship program down in the description below. Just join it or whatever. Message me and say, yo, teach me about that drop shipping. I want to know how you did it. I'll teach you. But it kind of took that moment for me. It took that moment for me to fumble that money, to see it slow down, to not appreciate it, change all my expenses, like how much I was spending, and to realize, whoa, you went about this the wrong way. Now, come back around, I made more money, and I knew how to manage it. Hey, this might slow down. This might stop. Put it away. Put it away in somewhere it'll grow. Put the bulk of it, now I mean, into something that'll cash flow some type of money. Now I mean, and for me, that was real estate. Actually, I didn't even put the bulk. I actually tucked most of it away. You know what I mean? And then the bulk of it, I mean, not the bulk of it, but a portion of it, I bought real estate. But it wasn't to the point where the real estate would just break me. Again, like I said, I could have learned, a little bit more about real estate before I jumped in, but now I know a whole lot more about it. That's another thing. If y'all want to hit me up about, y'all can hit me up. I tell you what I know. But yeah, man, it sometimes it takes that moment of just, damn, like, I went about it real childish. Because when you get a lot of money in a lump sum, you don't know how you'll handle that. You get a check in a week, that's $150,000. You don't know how you're going to handle that. You know what I mean? You get another check following week, $150,000. You don't know how you're going to handle that. You're going to say to yourself right now, yeah, I'll buy my, I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You done bought your mama a car. This person asked you for money. I'm going to tell y'all right now, if y'all could take the mindset of my mistakes, these people's mistakes, into that time that you will have one day, you will have it. You know what I mean? If you grind, you will have it. It's for you. You just got to go get it. If you take this understanding that we have and learn from our mistakes, you'll be a lot more better off. So high yield savings account until you build up the knowledge on where to put a small portion of that money. Don't invest all of your money into some type of business that your friend done told you that could make y'all millions. Some t-shirt company. Don't invest all your money. Like right now, if I was to come up with like a t-shirt line, I would invest maybe like 5% of my money into that. Just in case it fails. I could be like, damn, but I ain't broke. You know what I mean? So a lot of people make these mistakes along with changing their expenses. So let's go to the next video. Oh, she going ham. I could tell.
Influencers are going broke. They're not able to pay their bills. They're not able to pay their mortgages. And people are mad at them. People are mad at them. And I honestly, a part of me, I think it's justifiable, right? To be like, you essentially squandered away millions of dollars and you have like nothing to show for it. There's been so many influencers coming out recently talking about like, I don't have that much money and I can't afford this. And like they went in on a house that was way too much money. Or maybe like at a time when you were like, I can afford this payment. But that doesn't mean you're going to be able to afford that payment forever, especially when you're working in something so finicky as like influencing in social media and things like that. But I feel like this is the perfect example of that most people don't have money problems, they have spending problems. And so many people are living paycheck to paycheck on all of the income scales. People are living paycheck to paycheck, and it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But a lot of the people that are like throwing hate their way and being like, honestly, I don't care, it's their fault, they squandered away all this.
People living paycheck to paycheck, you could kind of understand because bills are so high. But I will say this, a lot of us have at least $100 to burn at the bar. So you can put at least $100 away of every check, and you'll be surprised by the end of the year. Okay, you got $1,200 saved up, but you got something saved up for when something stupid happens.
Money, they've made millions of dollars and now they're broke. Like, that's not my problem. I get it and it's valid, but also like, let's look at your finances. Because I bet you money, a lot of these people, if we went through all of their finances and saw like what their budget should be, and not like a tight budget. Because I did this myself. I went through and I was like, what are all my necessities? What would be like a good allowance for me that's like reasonable, blah, blah, blah. And I went through And then I was like, where has all this extra money been going? Because it's not all hitting my savings account.
surprised.
It's just like gone. And I know that a lot of you are like that too. Where if we went through your finances, there would be so much money unaccounted for. Where I'd be like,
One of the best things you can do for yourself financially is print out your bank statement. Print out your bank statement, like put it in your hand type shit, or pull it up on your laptop, because a lot of us don't have access to like printers and stuff. Pull up your last 3 months of bank statements. It'll tell you how much you are spending. And you can look at it and be like, wow, I done spent $500 at the bar. That's $500 I could save. I didn't spend $500 at the bar three months in a row. That means I have extra money. I just been throwing it over there and didn't even realize it. I'm sitting here saying, oh, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Well, you're living paycheck to paycheck because you don't realize where you're saying, I got to spend money here. Or, man, it's cool, I'll buy us all rounds. You not even realize you're throwing money over there.
where did this go? Where's all this extra money? And you would just be like, I don't know. Because we have spending problems. We have huge spending problems. It doesn't matter how much you make. If you don't get that together, if you don't learn how to spend money and spend it well and be like mindful about your money, it does not matter how much money you make. That's why they say, call it like the lottery curse. It's not a curse. Winning the lottery would be such a blessing. It's a curse because if you don't know how to manage your money and someone gives you a shit ton of money, you still don't know how to manage that money and you will just blow it. You're going to blow it. Just like a lot of these influencers have blown.
So learn how to manage your money where you are now. Because when when you make $1 million, you're going to find a way to be living paycheck to paycheck again. If you don't know how to manage your money at where it's at right now, you don't want to wait until you make a whole bunch of money and now you're trying to learn financial literacy. That's what I had to learn. I had to learn the hard way because I did it wrong the first time. Learn it now. So when you do stumble upon, you're ready.
Their money. It's insane. It's really sad, but it's like, what more do you need to see? Like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like it's whatever. I don't even make that much money, so who cares? But if I started making a lot of money, then I would start. But no, you need to start those habits now. You need to start those habits now, and then hopefully, God willing, you start making more money, you already have those habits, then you'll feel the impact of making that money, right? You'll see the difference it makes in your life versus just paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck forever. Influencers are...
Yeah. So that's the reality, man. I believe, I'm not a financial advisor, I believe that everybody should have 6 months saved up, 6 months to a year saved up of all of their bills. If you don't have that, do not increase your bills. Yeah, I mean, you can only afford that this month. I mean, you can only afford that as long as your job allows you to afford that. So that takes me to my second point. Having multiple means to pay for that thing. This will make your life a lot more bulletproof to where people be like, yeah, but what if you get fired? Yeah, but what if the algorithm doesn't like you anymore? Well, I have a backup plan. And then I have another backup plan. Have a couple of backup plans. I'll say I have at least 3 backup plans for all of your bills. If you got to double down somewhere else, double down on somewhere else if you had to. But that's the best way to be living, real comfortable, not just month to month, and you might have to build that thing. It may start out by making $10. It may start out by making $100. Next, it's making $200. The way I used to be like, man, I need to find a way that my phone could make at least $100 because this phone cost me $100. So this phone needs to pay for itself. So I was always just on there, just searching, trying to find out how to make money on my phone, and I wind up, instead of making $100, I made a lot more than $100. But it all started on that search and starting at that hallmark of $100. But like I said, man, if y'all want to talk to me, just, one-on-one or whatever in my mentorship, holla at me in the description below, and we could wrap a taste. And all that good stuff, man. But anyways, man, hey, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on my post notifications and all that good stuff. And like I say in all of my videos, if you want to make some money on your phone, playing games on your phone, all you got to do is click the link in the description below or the link in the comments below. These apps, they're literally paying people just to play games on your phone. You're playing games. Each level, it'll tell you how much more money you can make, and you can cash it out to your account. Try it out. If it's for you, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But if you catch yourself making money, make your money. Until next time, y'all, it's been your boy, Ty Boogie. I'm out of here, man. Peace.